Today I want to talk about something a little bit, you could say obvious, but something that really interests me and I think will really interest you if you follow and look for the same pattern. So, the main idea behind this is that people operate on the same baseline psychology. Now, I talk a lot in my videos about evolutionary psychology, understanding evolutionary psychology. I think everyone should learn evolutionary psychology, even just one textbook. Right? I recommend David Buss's, the full evolutionary psychology textbook. It's like the 7th edition or 8th edition now. It's like a mountain with 2 blue bars on it. If you search it up on Amazon, it's like $100. We all operate with those same things underlying, right? Like, today, and this is kind of an off example, but somebody I knew, they were a girl, and they had this boy come into their life, and that boy left not abruptly, but like pretty fast, and this girl was like ready to get, engrossed with this boy, and just realizing it on evolutionary psychology, like why girls get so attached, why men don't, right? It all comes down to having kids, right? Having more of the population. That is what we're programmed to do. From a woman's standpoint, they have to carry that baby for 9 months. They have to get a good person, right? Someone who's going to protect them, stay with them. Otherwise, their and their baby's life are in danger. And then for the men, right? You don't have to be there for 9 months to spread your offspring, right? And that may sound crude, but if you think that's crude, then click off this video, because in my opinion, you are stupid. I would use other words for you. But if you can't handle the truths of life, then click off this. But anyways, most of you watching this won't think that. I know that. But anyways, evolutionary psychology, it means that we all have a baseline on how we operate, especially to the untrained person. Now, when I say untrained person, I'll kind of piggyback on what my mentor terms is, but the unenlightened. So the people who just let life live them. They don't live life, but they let life live them, right? That's not who you want to be. There's 3 types of people in the world. People who make things happen, people who watch things happen, and people who wonder what happened, right? You don't want to be the person who wonders what happened. You don't want to be the person who just lets life hit you in the face. But anyways, the something that I see, and I've only I wouldn't say coined it, but I've only been actually conscious of this idea for probably a couple months now. But every single time I am engrossed with someone, not engrossed with someone, sorry, when I'm watching 2 people speak that are unenlightened, this same pattern happens time and time again. And my challenge for you, once you hear this, I want you, next time you are in a conversation, not really in a conversation, but for me at work, and if there's 2 people talking, I don't really like small talk, and don't misconstrue that. I'll be polite if somebody's there and I'll talk to them, and I do enjoy talking to people, but when I'm doing something, when I'm in my zone and somebody's there, I'm fine with just awkward silence so I can get my stuff done. But anyways, if there's 3 people in a room and then 2 people are talking and I'm just kind of off to the back, I'm okay with not being in the conversation, right? But it's in those situations for me when I'm just off in kind of the background and 2 people are talking. I notice this every single time. And again, I challenge you, whenever you're in a similar situation, just study how people talk. I promise you, you're going to see this come up most of the time when you see. Now, what is this pattern? This pattern, I'm going to explain why we're inclined to do this. But this pattern will follow as so. And I'm going to give an example, and I want you guys to see if you can I want you to see if you can pick out the pattern here. So, I had 2 coworkers here the other day. They were talking about getting snow off the roof, because everyone's having to get snow off the roof. Again, live in northern Canada. We got 4 feet of snow. Roofs were collapsing. Our shed collapsed. So everyone was getting snow off their roofs. And so they were talking about getting snow off their roof. So this is kind of how the conversation went. Be like, yeah, my son and I spent 3 hours here shoveling off just the one roof, and we still have 4 more to go. the person he's talking to. Yeah, no, my husband, it took him like 4 hours. I felt so bad because I wasn't helping, but then afterwards he got something hooked up to his Ranger and put it up on the roof. The guy talking, oh yeah, we never did that. Our house is pretty high up, our roof is pretty high. I don't think we could ever do that with the Ranger. The girl talking, yeah, it made it way easier for my husband. It didn't take us nearly as long as it would have. That's a sample of the conversation, and the conversation went like that every single time. Now, I'm going to ask you, what pattern did you see? I'm going to let you think about this. Pause this even. The pattern that we are seeing here is someone is going to talk about something that happened to them, and the other person is going to talk about something that happened to them. The conversation nature is going to be very selfish. Now, it's not going to be selfish as a whole, but it's going to be selfish for one person, then for one person, then for one person, then for one person. On a simpler way to put this, one person is going to talk about themselves, then the other person is going to talk about themselves. Now, most of the time, this does relate to what the conversation is flowing, but it's going to go, I'm going to talk about myself, you're going to talk about yourself in a way that's similar. I'm going to talk to myself in a way that's similar to that. I'm going to talk about myself in a way that's similar to that. I hope that makes sense. Basically, people only talk about themselves. Now, we humans are innately selfish, right? Evolutionary psychology, at the end of the day, we care about our well-being. The only things that we don't care nearly as much as ourselves is our offspring, right? If I had a kid, it would be my kid. So, put this into perspective. People innately are extremely selfish. And every single conversation I see, it always plays out like that. And I haven't even noticed, the reason that I did, notice this in the first place, my mentor said, just watch people, right? Study their patterns. Study the patterns of broke people. Study the patterns of rich people. Avoid what the poor people do. Emulate what the rich people do. And I'm not going to say that's a poor person habit, but with a lot of the unenlightened people I see, that is how it goes. And I see it in a couple of enlightened people too. Like the people who are high up there now, it's way rare. Like these people have a level of self-awareness that, again, the unenlightened don't have. But I'm telling you, you're going to see this so much. Some people are going to be way worse than others, and some people are just going to be naturally conversationalists, so they're not going to do that. But to the untrained person, that is that pattern. Study it. Notice it. Please, if any of you are watching this far, I'm telling you, tomorrow, just stop and listen to a conversation between two people. It doesn't matter who it is, right? Unless you're from, like a really high class family who does some sort of some sort of high-end business position. Study your family. And I am telling you, I can guarantee there is a 95% chance you are going to see this pattern. If not tomorrow, I guarantee you're going to see it this week. Like I could bet $100 on it. Now, the point of this video, I guess, number one, right, and something I talk about quite a bit, study evolutionary psychology, right? When you do this, the way people act start to make sense. What people say starts to make sense. You can then start anticipating how people are going to react to you. Now, this isn't in any way manipulative, but, another thing, if you say something and it comes across wrong, guess what? These people are going to hold envy towards you when you didn't mean any harm. And that's a bad position to be in. But anyways, study that pattern. I'm telling you guys are going to see it. It's going to become fascinating. As a broader overview, study the patterns of poor people. Study the patterns of rich people. Don't do the patterns of poor people. Emulate the patterns of rich people. And you, my friend, are going to be more successful. So, that's that. That is my video for today. Again, I hope you guys got value out of this. Make sure to follow and subscribe for more. Follow the journey. Join my free AI agency Discord. Link in the description. Again, completely for free. for free. Tons of free sauce on that. And follow my Instagram for more daily updates. So, that being said, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Above all, stay wise.